This is the Dueling Piano Players Podcast, episode 23.
You are listening to the #1 rated Dueling Piano Players Podcast with your hosts, Joel Randolph and Johnny K. Joel and Johnny invite you to join them online at duelingpianoschool.com and get the edge in the dueling piano world. And now, here are your hosts, Joel Randolph and Johnny K.
Welcome to the Dueling Piano Players Podcast from duelingpianoschool.com, giving you the edge in the dueling piano world. This is Johnny K.
Hey, this is Rock and Roll Joel.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I am doing awesome. I am in paradise.
It looks sunny. It's pouring rain here. It's a mess.
I saw that.
Oh, it's awesome. We needed it because it's so hot.
No, so did we. For those of you watching the news, we've been on fire all week down here.
Yeah, we had a fire too the very next day, actually. Big chain of hotels went up in smoke.
Oh.
Yeah, good time. It was fun to watch in the middle of the night, I tell you what. But
I'm still evacuated right now. I have everything I own in a suitcase with me. I just left the area, went to one of the other clubs, and started playing there.
Boy, that's nice to be able to do that, huh? Just pack up and go somewhere else.
The fire was across the street from my condo. Yeah, we left. Helicopters came and dropped water in the side yard.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was coming.
So yesterday, Josh and I did our first Zencast.
How did that go? I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
It was great, man. We got a chance to just talk about some of the things that Josh and I have been doing and our 12-week plan. I've got a 12-week running plan. We're trying to get other guys just to talk about some of the stuff that they're doing, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. I think when we all bond together with the idea of just being a little bit healthier, we're all going to put on better shows. So it's going to be cool.
We still have that interview with Randy that we have to do too.
We still got to do that. Maybe that can be part of the Zencast.
He's ready. He's ready for it.
So you got a friend with you today.
Yeah, this is Stace. Say hey, Stace.
What's up, guys?
Stace, what are you doing here? Why are you sitting here with me?
Well, I'm interested in, besides learning piano, being part of a dueling piano show. I like what you do. I'm an entertainer, and I think that I could be up there if I just learned the skill behind the piano itself.
Well, how much do you know about playing piano already?
I know where the C is.
Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Well, you watched a couple of the videos in Module 1. I let you get on there and check those out. What did you think about those? You think that's something that you will be able to pick up and work with?
Absolutely. Just from watching the videos, I thought that I could just sit right down on it and go from there.
Now, you play other instruments too, don't you?
Yes, sir.
What do you play?
I play the guitar. I can play with the drums. Obviously, I play with the bass. You hand me a harmonica, I can make some noise with it.
All right, so you already have a musical background, but just not a piano thing. Well, I think we're going to be able to help you. And folks, what we're going to do is kind of document the process. After he gets through with Module 1 and comes to me for a personal lesson, we're going to record that, and hopefully you guys might get some help out of it, that we're having some questions or get another way of looking at that information. And, it'll help us improve on the module, but also we'll get to see how that works on somebody coming from ground zero and really putting the time in to go after it. And what's your goal from this, Stace?
I would like to, honestly, sit in beside you.
Yeah? Play at one of these clubs? I think it would be
awesome. I think you on one side of the microphone and me on another would be... I think that'd be a trip.
We would have a good time, and that's what will happen here. As I am supposed to staff an entire new club down here in Paradise, and it's in a real entertainment mecca. It's going to be high tips in that place.
And I'm excited to see this because we've already got plenty of proof that this entire method works. Between talking to Dave Pusikowski and Tommy Keys and me, all have trained under Joel. And a lot of guys are like, yeah, but you've been doing it a long time. I mean, what kind of results can you expect to see? And we're going to see that with Stace. This is going to be a lot of fun. Just to show, he just said, I know where middle C is. That's about it. So, and the thing is, we had a guy that, and I'm not knocking him at all, but he was a jazz major at Ohio State. And he said, I don't need nothing to do with Module 1. And I said, that's exactly what I thought when I first came in. I was like, I'm a badass piano player. I don't need to learn Module 1. And I was wrong. So this is going to be really cool to see like what it's like to come from ground zero, even whether your skill is extremely advanced piano or none at all. This method is still going to work. And Stace, really looking forward to seeing your progress. Congratulations on signing up, and good luck. We're going to be here, obviously, to walk you through.
Thank you, sir. I'm excited.
Well, one of the things that Stace is with me down here at one of these flagship gem of clubs that we have, and just watching the money come flowing into tip jars up there, and that Johnny kind of brings me to something that we thought we should talk about with our members as far as tips and how to get those tips, make that money without ruining your own chances at making money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think it's okay to actually call it what it is. Guys have been asking, how do you make money without, here it is, tip whoring? We said it. Yes.
Vice. Today's we're DPS Vice today.
That's right. We're pulling our own undercover stings, and we're busting all you tip whores out there.
So what is tip whore? I mean, we're gonna let you finish first, but then we're gonna jail you.
As long as you got the money, right? Tip
it's funny,
whoring.
'cause I'll keep the money when a tip whore comes in, and that bitch has my money. I take it, but I just cringe the whole time. And fortunately, we don't allow that at our clubs. If somebody's doing that, thank you, and we'll find somebody else. But what is tip whoring, Johnny?
Tip whoring is the process of just talking about too much, or talking about money way too much, and nickeling and diming your audience to death after they've already paid for cover, they're paying for drinks, and you're basically letting them know that you're not doing anything, they're not worth anything to you unless they give you a ton of money. And that's just wrong. I mean, you are already getting paid a substantial salary to do a job, to be a good entertainer. The tips are the cream on top of the cupcake. It's the icing on the cake. It's the extra little advantage that you get working in this situation. And a lot of guys base their nights on the kind of tips they make. And it's going vastly across the country where people are being limited on how they can make tips. And they're going, well, that's our money. You're messing with our money. And I want to just tell all these guys, no, you're already getting paid a lot of money to do a job for 3 hours a night. I mean, you're kind of getting selfish with it. So the idea behind tip whoring is make as much money as you can and get out. And you know what? That just doesn't work for your long-term goals. And so let's talk about first why tip whoring is bad, Joel. I guess the first thing is, your long-term effects on your club.
You'll ruin your club. Now, there are different instances, and there's no one way to treat this issue, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying to give you some ideas to think about when you're trying to deal with making yourself some money that night. But in most situations, people will get tired out of hearing you beat them up for cash all night long, right. And they won't request at all. They'll still come in and they'll pay for their overpriced drinks, and they'll laugh at your jokes, and they'll throw $1 up with something. But the first 3 or 4 times they come in, you spend all night begging for money, saying, I'm only going to play this for $50 or $50, which, by the way, we got $50 last night.
Good for you.
But that's a different story. We can talk about it if you want. But anyway, over time, you'll end up, at a place that starts out making $300-400 tips a night. In time, you're going to reduce that down to $100 because people are wise to your game.
Or even less.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just not good. And you'll get guys that blow through a club, and they do that. And there are people that are good at it. And they, it's just, they don't care. They're just going to rape your audience and then move on to the next place.
Yeah, it's like a locust, it just comes in and consumes everything it can, but you have to give in order to get. And so the long-term effects for your business, for your club, if you want to keep working there and you don't want to have to look for work, then tip whoring is going to make sure that you will be looking for work. That place will shut down. It's also very distracting from the show. You are trying to put on an entertaining show, and when you do that, more people come in, you get more tips. I found that the nights that I've tip whored is the nights that I've walked away with less cash, and the nights that I just focused on putting on a good show, those are the nights that we left with more cash. So we're not just going to tell you tip whoring's bad. We are going to give you some ideas on how to make money without actually becoming a major tip whore. But the first two items that you need to think about are the long-term effects on your club and how distracting it is from the show. Now,
well, why would anybody do that in the first place, do you think?
Because some guys can get away with this. Some people are really good at tip whoring. It's just that they're perceived differently. Say you got a rookie guy that's up there with this guy that's a veteran 10 years, and he is coming up with very creative ways to make money, and he's very focused on the money. But the thing is, he's selling it in a very good manner. He can tip whore, and he can get away with it, but he might not be there the next week. And then the next thing is going to happen is you're going to try doing everything he did, and you're going to fall flat on your face, and you're just going to come across looking like a greedy person. So the reason it happens is because some guys are good at it, and it can work. But the reason that it's not going to work for you is just you're not good at it. And you are going to develop a very bad habit if you try to constantly soak money out of the crowd. Everybody looks at the money at the end of the night and they go, $400 cash, that's awesome. Let's do this every night. But they don't know how to do it. And so it's not to say that tip whoring is very bad. It's just it's not something we want to preach to you because what if you get the corporate gig where you're not allowed to ask for tips and you're making $600 for the night anyway? If all you know how to do are these little tricks on making money, you're not going to be entertaining and you're not going to get those corporate gigs again. And you're also not going to stay in that club very long because you're not going to be putting on an entertaining show. So that's why tip whoring happens. Some guys are good at it, but you're not going to be good at it, especially coming right out of the gate. And you don't want to get into the habit of developing those kind of skills. You want to become a good entertainer because doing a good job equals good money. If you are putting on a good show, you are going to make money. People will pay you very good money if you make them feel good, if you make them feel important, and you give them quality entertainment. Right, Joel? Doesn't that happen?
Absolutely. With my teams at one of my stores that's entirely staffed with Dueling Piano School members. Yeah. We tried an experiment. Mm-hmm. Instead of asking for or pressing the idea of or even keeping the money with the request, we just played as many of the requests as we knew if it was a good idea for the song, whether there was money on it or not. And we said, if you enjoy the show, just put some money in the tip jar there and give us some song ideas to play. And we separated the money from the actual request.
Great idea. Awesome idea.
Well, the risk was that we're just going to play a whole bunch of songs and not get any money for it. That was the risk. But we all talked about this, and we wanted to see what happened. So we did this. And I'm telling you, that money just flows in those jars at random moments, especially the people you beat them up for money and they put $2 on there. A lot of those times when we play their song anyway, a 20 goes in there. Right. Because they just loved it that we did it. So the risk paid off. I mean, the tips, have gone up a good 50% from what they were when we were trying to associate money. Now, of course, there are ways to get away with asking for money, but it's remember to connect with your audience either by playing the request with no money on it, or just making a call that's similar to that. If you don't know that song, just try and connect with them. Let them know that you're with them and they're part of the show too. And that's where that money comes from, the big money.
Yeah, and by connecting with the audience, there's so many ways to do that. I mean, just, shooting the breeze with them, finding out where they're from or, what they do or who they're with or what kind of thing they're celebrating. You never know. You never know. But, also a way to connect with them is I know a girl that used to come into a place that I worked, and she would tip $1 on every song. But the girl would request 30 songs a night, so she gave us $30, where somebody else gave us $20 for one song. And the thing is, you're going to play a bunch of songs all night long. If you pay attention to where the money's coming from, and you honor those requests, and you connect with them, and you say the money's coming from the person, not from the song, they're going to give you more songs. They're going to give you more requests. They're going to give you more money. So you don't have to just base it on, oh, well, we got $5 for this one and $1 for this one, so we're going to do the one with the 5 first, you know? The $1 song may be a better song to play, and more people may like it, and more people may throw money in your jar just because you played that, which I don't know how many times I've played Sweet Home Alabama, and people from Alabama just come up and say, thank you very much, and throw $20 bills in the tip jar. It just happens because they like the song.
Something I want to add to that.
Yeah.
One time playing, there was a family, and at this one particular chain of clubs, we did parties that we gave away, a luau party.
Yeah.
Meaning, hey, come to the bar at 7:00 instead of 9:00 is really what it was.
Uh-huh.
But we put out a little spread of chicken wings, meatballs, and I think they got one free drink or a $2 drink or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was this group there that didn't put any money on any requests, a very large group of large people. And we were beating them up about it. And they just laughed and kept on nursing their one beer to where I was almost getting angry about it. And then I started looking, paying attention a little bit more closely. Those people probably couldn't afford to go out and have a good time ever. And they won this thing somehow. And so they came in and they ate their free food like it was, a gourmet dinner.
Right.
And they drank their one cheap beer and sat there till midnight.
Wow.
Taking up space, not making us any money. But those people had a blast, the time of their lives. It occurred to me that that's probably the only time, all year that they get to go out and have fun like that because they just can't afford to. So, I guess that was just a good karma moment for me. It was not always all about the money.
Yeah, well, that's part of the battle too is, we put a lot of energy on money, but the thing is when we don't think about the money, if you don't focus on money at all and you just are focused on the people and you care about the people and putting on a good show and showing them a good time, that money will come. It may not come from the people that are having a good time. It may come from the mean people in the bar, but the money will show up. It always does. It's just the simple concept of don't think about the money. Don't worry about the money. And as soon as you stop worrying about it and as soon as you stop needing it, that's when it shows up. Now, there are ways to ask for money. You have to train your audience to tip you. They need to know that it's okay to tip you. So, you ask them to write down song requests or bring it up and play it. And then when they do bring up, somebody gets the idea or somebody's been in there before and they give you $5 and you make a point to say, oh, thank you so much. They gave us $5 to play this song. Let's go ahead and do it for them. And then all of a sudden they've got it trained in their mind that $5 equals a thank you. And they like hearing the words thank you. They like being recognized and being appreciated. And when you show your appreciation for their measly $5 that you're going to split 4 ways and make $1.25 off of, they're going to give you more of those. They like that. When you can make somebody feel good, they will give you more money. But there are other ways.
Just last night, sorry, Johnny, we got mostly stacks of 5s and 20s. That's where the big piles. And it's because it just happened at the beginning of the night that we had requests with fives on them, and we mentioned, just like you said, oh, thank you for this $5. $5 says play this. Suddenly, every request that came up had 5s on it.
Nice.
And then I did one of my, kind of jokes, which is another way that you can ask for money. If you watch some of the veterans have their slick way of mentioning, hey, pay us.
Right.
And we can talk about some of those if you want. But I just used one of my little tricks that I have and mentioned a $20 bill. And then I played the song anyway. I played it without getting that money, but mentioned that he should give me $20 for that, and I had my joke way of doing that.
So what happened?
And when it was done, they came up and he put $20 in the jar.
Very nice.
And then 20 started coming up on all the requests.
You don't want to tell us what the joke is?
Well, yeah, okay. He asked.
You don't have to. We've got our secrets. If these guys really want to know, they're paying us. Why not?
You can use this one. He asked for "Don't Stop Believing," and it had no cash on it. And I said, who asked for this song? The guy raised his hand. You know what? He wasn't even the guy that asked for the song. I asked who had a smartphone. The guy who gave me the $20 didn't even request the song. But I said, who's got a smartphone? He raised his hand, and I said, can you Google up the lyrics to "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey? You guys like that song? You get the lyrics, like get the first couple words to the second verse and write them down on the back of a $20 bill. Set it right here. That really helps me remember how that song goes.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
And then I played the song anyway, and he gave me $20. He wasn't even the guy that requested the song.
Nice, and I wasn't even the guy. That's so cool. See, and you know what? And everybody got a good laugh out of it, and obviously the people liked the song, and somebody felt the urge, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the cool guy that throws the $20 bill in the jar. Sometimes we say, oh, okay, the rich people are here tonight, and they want to hear this song. And then other people want to go, oh, well, I want to be the rich person, so I want to be recognized as high class or, high money or whatever. And they start throwing that money too. You can make subtle little jokes about it. There are some creative things you can do with the show that are actually very entertaining. Some guys use the word of the night board. That's up to your club to let you know if you can do that or not. And there's a methodology behind using the word of the night board. There's also several other little tools and tricks, but the easiest ones are the fight songs, side battles, genre battles where you're battling between country music and rock and roll. And it really depends on where you're at, because if you're in a full country bar and you try to battle them with rock and roll, country's going to win, So
right.
you gotta pick your battles wisely. You can do men versus women, but there are all kinds of different battles that you can do. And the fight songs are obviously the classic example of that, and that's probably the easiest way to do it. But you got to keep it positive. You got to keep it high energy, and you got to make sure it's short and sweet, because you just made $200 or $300 in that 10 minutes, and now it's time to move on and keep the show going.
If you want to learn how to do the fight songs, we don't really have time to go into all the different ways to do that, but you can certainly email us if you've never done it before, and we can talk with you about what type of club you have and a way to try it that might work for your area. If you have tried it before or are doing it, it's not really pulling as much money as you think it should. Certainly get a hold of us, and we can tell you some ideas on how to improve that, or maybe some different things to try to see if that just finesses your wallets out of your audience a little better.
And if you really want to see your tips go up, and this is just kind of an aside, a little joke, fire everybody except for one person and then just split the tips 2 ways. There you go. All your tips will go up. But that's not what we're doing. We're training. We're building an army. We got a club opening up, and Stace, looking forward to seeing you in there. Looking forward to seeing you on the site. Keep us up to date with your progress. Yeah.
Speaking of the club blowing up or opening up, they're blowing up my phone here.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it ringing. We're gonna edit some of those little beeps out. Well, that's it for today, you guys. Thanks for joining us, Joel. Again, traveling and somehow finding an internet connection. It's brilliant. And Stace, great to have you on. And hey, guys, that's it for this episode of the Dueling Piano Players Podcast. We'll see you all here next week. Go to duelingpianoschool.com. Get the edge in the dueling piano world. I'm Johnny K.
This is Rock and Roll Joel.
Peace out, you guys.
Thanks.
You have been listening to the #1 rated Dueling Piano Players Podcast. Join us now online at duelingpianoschool.com and get the edge in the dueling piano world.